Friday, October 17th. Everyone agreed to spend a family fun Friday helping me get ready for the fair. It's tomorrow! After school, Holly offered to walk Crescent so that I could start making the dough. Aunt Olivia was in charge of taking the cookies out of the oven so I could focus on decorating them. Once they'd cooled, of course. Dad came home, and we set up an assembly line for packaging and labeling the cookies with the list of ingredients. We played music and danced around the kitchen and had our first ever Great Bark Bake Break. When I had everything packed up for the fair, Dad said he was impressed with everything I'd done. Aunt Olivia gave me a hug and said, "Way to go, boss." Then Holly handed me a package wrapped in rainbow-colored paper. Inside was a t-shirt with the Waggy Pup Tails logo printed on it. I told her I'd look like a real business owner tomorrow, and she said I already was one. It felt really good to have my family behind me. Saturday, October 18th. The business fair was the coolest thing ever. Everyone had really unique displays. One girl used a tree in the park to hang her birdhouses, and another boy strung a clothesline between two lampposts to display his tie-dyed shirts. Kids were selling handmade soap, beaded bracelets, painted flower pots, cupcakes and cookies, candles, keychains, and knitted hats and scarves. Daisy, a girl who gets to my school, had 2 6-foot-tall cat trees covered in handmade cat toys. There were so many people, and at first I was nervous about answering questions from grown-ups. But I was talking about my 2 favorite things, dogs and baking, so it was really easy. Dad watched me wait on some customers, and he said he was really proud of me. Fiona came to the fair and bought 4 bags of dog cookies. She also had news. Daphne's been adopted. At first I felt sad. I won't get to see her again. But I was mostly happy that Daphne has a forever home now. Her new family is really lucky. I was nervous when the judges came to my cart because I had to tell them about my business. They asked a lot of questions, and they all liked meeting Crescent. "He's my inspiration," I explained. One judge said I looked very professional. I turned to see if Aunt Olivia had heard them, and that's when I saw Mom. She was home. She wrapped her arms around me in a huge hug, and I squeezed her tight. I wanted to tell her every single thing that had happened today, but I still had work to do. At the end of the fair, the judges gathered everyone together and congratulated us for our hard work and creativity. Then it was time for the awards. I held my breath. They called the winner for Best Business Potential, and everyone clapped as a boy even younger than me walked to the front of the crowd, and then I heard my name. I won Best Presentation. The judges said my cookies were beautifully decorated and packaged and that my display was bright and appealing. They said I also did a great job presenting my business to the judges and to my customers. My family cheered so loud as the judges handed me a certificate and a check for $500. That's going to help a lot of animals at the shelter. I felt so proud. Today was amazing, but the best part was coming home with Mom and finding Fettuccine curled up in the middle of Crescent's dog bed. A few weeks ago, Crescent would have freaked out, but tonight he just walked over to Fettuccine and lay down next to him with a contented doggy sigh. Sunday, October 19th. Aunt Olivia and Fettuccine went back to Baltimore today. I'm going to miss them both. I think Fettuccine's going to miss Crescent. They ended up being pretty good friends. Holly and I made 3 different kinds of muffins for our final breakfast with Aunt Olivia. Before we could eat, the doorbell rang and Aunt Olivia announced that she had a present for Holly and me. Your parents said it was okay. We all went to the front hall, and when Dad opened the door, Fiona was standing there holding a pet carrier. I was completely confused until a little gray paw reached out. It was Daphne. This sweetie needs some cat people to be her family, Aunt Olivia said. She's lived with dogs before, and now that Crescent has learned to get along with Fettuccine, he's going to love Daphne. Holly hugged Aunt Olivia while I scooped Daphne into my arms. Aunt Olivia put Crescent on his leash and kept him back, but Crescent's tail was wagging as he looked at Daphne. Finally, another pet to love. I need to look up cat treat recipes. It's time for a great bake break. And that is the end of the journal.